channel. Today's video is that I will show you a little bit of Google AI and Inkscape and how I both use them to create this masterpiece poster. So yeah, do it with me. I'm here on Google's AI thing, so I'm just gonna click the AI mode right there, and then we'll see what actually happens here. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to do basic things that is capable of doing, like the weather, the colors, what colors it recommends me to do, and what sort of ideas that it has for all the drawing stuff. But I don't know what this Google personal intelligence was, but it made me do it. I don't know what that was about. It's just strange because I've never actually used it. I've always wanted to use it like in a video or something, but this time I was like, why not, give it a shot. So then here I just typed what I should draw, any drawing ideas. Maybe I should have been more specific about it, because you have to be specific, otherwise it sort of goes the whole internet and tries to search for things that you didn't even know that you needed. It's sort of like a path to destruction. Not destruction, but I didn't like what it was giving me. I think I should have been more specific about it, because that was basically my fault, but it did give me some ideas about what was sort of like trending and what's new and what people like to draw and stuff. So for this, I just searched up the color palette that I think goes well, and it searched up the 2026 color trend palettes this year, which was more of like earthy tones. They were more like darker than my usual tone. I should have been more specific with that again. I don't know, I just thought it would be nice to try something different towards my art, because I was sort of getting bored with doing the same thing over and over again. So I thought I would give this a try and see where exactly it's headed towards. So then here I just said give me a hex code, which you can just basically put it in any I'm gonna put it in Inkscape, any software that deals with color and stuff. You can use that. I would use a hex code to copy and paste it anywhere that you would like. But I felt like I should have given it more explanation of what exactly I wanted. That was sort of like the problem with this whole thing, is that I wasn't that direct with what exactly I wanted, because that's what everyone makes mistake about when they're using AI. You have to be really specific about what you want, and sometimes that doesn't happen exactly the way you want it to be. So here I sort of spent a long time just finding how to do the color palette thingy, which I will sort of figure it out. I haven't used it in a bit, so I'm gonna get back into that. I never really usually do Inkscape, but this time, since I was very desperate, I decided to just use it and just go with it. And I just love Inkscape sometimes, because I always do pixel art and stuff. I never really do vector art. I really want to get into that and do more designs that are more actually cool. My ideas are pretty simple, but I tried to figure it all along the way. So this is the color palette, color wheel here. So you basically had to paste the color there. It's pretty simple on what it can do. Here we sort of ran into an issue, but I did fix it. It was a little bit buggy. I don't know why that happens to me, but some days it's just not working out just the way I want it to be. It's sort of like a hit and miss with this thing. It's like sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it doesn't. So I just pasted the color here. I really do like the pink that color that it gave me. So I'm not really like that mad about it, but I didn't end up using it in the final results, but that is fine. I'm just here to show you what exactly Inkscape is capable of and what AI can actually help me with small things that I have issues with. So yeah. So these are all the colors that it gave me. It gave me a long list of the colors that I was sort of looking for, but not really, but it does give you an idea of what people actually like nowadays. I don't know if it's actually very accurate about the information that it provides, but I think it's good for like someone who wants to know exactly what colors are good and bad to use. It's sort of like a trial run, but you know. Here I just decided to copy this and I sort of ended up making a tulip, which I'm not mad about because I love doing tulips. I thought this was the one thing that is very simple and easy to do. It doesn't take that much time. So then I did that, and then I moved around, sort of finished with it, and then found this sort of like tulip design, which I thought was pretty inspiring about what I can do. I never actually did that much Inkscape. I mean, I did, but I felt like I needed something new to do because I always done my digital art and I always done it for a long time, and this time I felt like I had to do something else, and I thought AI would be such a great help to do all the stuff that I thought that I do like that the color palettes that it gave me, but I thought it was very misleading sometimes. But you know, even AI is not as perfect as we can be, but I sort of work with it this whole time and trying to see what exactly it can do. Then I grouped this, of course, because we don't want it to be ruined, so then I just did that and turned it, and there you can see the tulip. So the pink, I just decided to like just leave it like that. You'll see, I'll keep on building it and building it. Then I decided to add a stem, a green stem, because I was very frustrated by, I don't think it gave me a green color. I don't think it was that great of telling me what colors. The colors that it gave was basically too dark because my color palettes are pretty like bright and airy and cheerful at the same time. So I felt like it was actually the right time to actually use it. But AI is very helpful, but it can also not be that helpful. So, and if you see my settings thing going up, it's just because I need to update my Mac, which I sort of forgot to do, but I did do it later after this video was done filming. So just ignore that whatever is happening in the background. So I just decided to add this leaf here and just duplicate it and make it look nice. So make it look good, nice all together, which I think makes a huge difference. And yeah. So here I just decided to remove the pink thing, and I did use the pink background for it. I think it looked much more better. But later I did adjust the colors and stuff because I feel like it wasn't fitting the palette here. I'm just gonna turn it to the pink color and just find something that is actually similar to it. I did end up copying the hex code to it. I felt like it was a great idea to use all the colors because it would have been an AI video if I didn't ask AI for the colors, because I was very specific about what exactly I wanted, but I don't know. So this time I just moved it around, sort of fitting it to where exactly I wanted. So I wanted to move the tulip to on the background there, so it looks nice and cool at the same time, because I felt like I wanted to make a sort of like a poster, something that is perfect for like the springtime and stuff like that. So even though spring is already almost over, that I would do something sort of different than that. And here I decided to add a sort of like, I wanted to do like lettering, but then I was like, that's definitely gonna take more time. So then I just decided to type it out, just say just in time for spring, added all the spacing and stuff to it. That's why it's all jumbled up. I thought like there's definitely something wrong with my MacBook, but it turns out the text was all like jumbled in one place. So then I deleted that and redid that and sort of typed everything separately. There's something going on with the spacing in the letters and stuff. That's why it looks all like outline looks all black, because the width is basically like too big enough for it. I should have known that the width is always the problem with doing this, because I always ran into this issue, but today I actually finally solved it. So now I can add text wherever I want, because I feel like adding text like sort of makes it feel like more of a poster. I know it's not exactly like that fancy type of vector art that you see, but this is what I could create because I was really proud of it. Yes, it's simple, but I think it does sort of work. I did ask ChatGPT to help me with the spacing, but I sort of figured it out because I have an idea of what is actually happening, and I was very clear that if this were to happen again, that I would try to fix it. And the problem was the width of the text, not exactly my software. There's nothing wrong with my software. So like finding the issue and fixing it is probably my favorite part of this whole thing. So yeah. But I did want to use AI as sort of like a tool, not to be misused in any way, but I felt like I had to shed some light on the realness of AI right now. Even though it must seem like it doesn't do anything, I felt like it gave me an idea of what exactly I was going towards, even though it wasn't exactly its idea. But I feel like AI is very powerful in this type of way, but you know, here I'm just gonna adjust the sizing. I know I've been taking too much about AI, but I felt like I had to make a point about this truth about it, and I don't know, if I asked ChatGPT or Gemini, it would probably be much more easier, but with the Google AI search, it's basically a hit and a miss. Sometimes it knows what exactly it's doing, but the nano banana, the image generation is just not it. I tried to do that before and it didn't work out, so here I'm just basically telling the truth of it all, and I hope that this will give an idea what. But I think my design it's good, right? But I felt like I should have added texture or something. I know it's pretty basic, but sometimes I feel like I do too much complex art that I don't do simple designs here. This was probably the most simplest thing I've ever done, but you know, anything could happen. But I wasn't mad about what exactly I made. I felt like it pointed me towards. And here I'm just moving all the text around here and sort of making it look like it's part of the card thing, and then make sure to hold Control or Shift to make sure that the size stays the same, otherwise it'll look kind of warped, and I just don't like that way that it does. But I think that this is probably the most cutest. I think it's perfect for like a poster. I think I should make it into a poster. I feel like it's simple, but I like it at the same time. it does make a huge difference on whether or not it's actually that good, but here I just used the same color. I didn't like that, so I just ungrouped it and then changed it back to the colors that I thought was actually good. So like finding a way to make it look nice was basically the whole factor. I just thought it was some good idea to do like a poster type of stuff. Maybe I should have added some designs to it, but I felt like it was very cute. And it's amazing about what I can create from just doing this. It isn't that hard to use vector. I just had a lot of practice with it, so I'm pretty sure I can do a whole design on it. Maybe that would be a separate video for that. So here I just decided to add arts and scroll, just like add the text to it, so it's sort of like a print so no one copies it. So I find it really relaxing and thrilling to do this. I'll see what I can do with this. So here I'm just adjusting the colors and stuff to make it more visible, because I think that I did the width too much for the text, so you couldn't really see the second color that was in between it. So I sort of changed it to the way I like it. You see how the outer color and inner color is way different? So here I just put it to black. And I did end up changing the font because I didn't like it, which is pretty easy. You just have to go to the tab on the right side and then change the font to what you actually like. I need to find a way to import more fonts and stuff so then I can get more like visible with it, but I felt like this text was like good, but it wasn't good enough for the thing that I was going towards. But I felt like it was very like minimalistic. I think I did a good job with doing this sort of like a print. I feel like if I added it anywhere it'd be like cool and stuff. So here I just edited the font too. So the text for this is called Damascus or something, and then I just hold on the shift to like make sure that it doesn't look warped and stuff. It sort of changes the size and stuff. I wanted it to stay the same. Just wanted it to be a little more centered, but I think it turned out great. For this I also turned down the opacity so you can't really see it. Then I tried to adjust the font because I thought it was a little too big. So then I used it to 15, which I think is pretty good, but I think I made it a little more bigger than it usually is. And yeah, that's how you create this. Yes, AI didn't really help me with it, but it gave me an idea of what colors that I should use. I did end up using the dark pink for the background color, which I thought was helpful. I wish that I added more flowers to this, but I felt like it was already perfect just the way it is. So next I'm just saving it as an SVG file, just so it doesn't lose like its pixelation, because PNG does that. So make sure that is SVG, because it's really important when you're exporting or importing, or if you want to make any changes to it. Best is to have the Inkscape SVG, not the regular SVG, but use a regular SVG if you want to make sort of like patterns and stuff. So just put it in Inkscape here. Just renamed it as like the Tulip something, and yeah, that is, I named it to Tulip poster here. I felt like I want to create some poster that I could actually be proud of, and I really liked how it turned out. It's simple and it's elegant and just in time for the spring season almost over. It just felt like the right time to do this. Then I exported it, and yeah, that is today's video. I had so much fun.